So, how to take advantage of people that are doing Russian intelligence or the terror contracts in a hacking way in the United States. So essentially, during Donald Trump pedobang administration, they expected every intelligence person to speak pedoly perfectly in all fucking ways. And they would have to have a tie on and shit. And that basically the only crowdsourced intelligence that they would take from these stupid Q fucking pedophiles everywhere are ones that would adhere to perfect pedoey talking with a tie and a Mormon suit on. And so then that's where if you heard anything that was coming out of their fucking mouth, then you would hear the dumbest, most retardedest shit there would ever be intelligence ever. And see, they sit around because they're like groomed. They're going, he doesn't have a tie on and he's not talking perfectly. And so they think that their stupid and crowdsourced intelligence shit will be accepted over people for not having a tie and not speaking all pedoey perfectly and shit. And so this is where you can take advantage and figure out who those people that are doing those contracts are based on that. And that's how fucking dumb and bitch brain they are. Okay? See, they don't even think about what's coming out of their fucking mouth, whether it's pedoey perfect speech talking with a tie on or not. The shit that they fucking say is dumb and fucking retarded. And so, in a real crowdsource of intelligence world, being smart is what that world is about. It's called intelligence. It's also called smart. And that if you people think that having a Mormon suit and talking perfectly like you're in a speech means anything, if you don't say anything fucking smart, then what you're saying doesn't fucking mean anything. And this is how you can take advantage of those fucking dumbasses. Because they have whole groups of researchers that are like, well, the truth would lead back to all of us doing these Russian contracts and terrorist contracts. And so they package and practice all this shit. And then anybody that knocks off their stuff, they're like, well, he doesn't have a tie on. What's that little whiny pedo? And see, the person will have a high probability of being a fucking pedophile. Just by not listening to what the person says, but noticing that they don't have a tie on and a Mormon suit. And that's pretty much where you can blatantly take advantage of all of their dumbest, most dumb fucking thoughts. Based on that. See, they won't. See, part of covering up their little involvement in that stuff is to have highly researched explanations that are basically have logic holes throughout all of their explanations. And that's how you out them. Because they do a Q banging fucking PR. It's kind of like a corporation where they research what the public relations response will be to something, and that they spend so much time and effort on having things that are extremely illogical. See, in a real PR way, what they analyze before they actually say anything is if it's filled with logic holes. And see, the logic holes are part of what covers up or misdirects their involvement in something that they're trying to influence. See, whatever those fucking retards are talking about is exactly what those retards will be involved with. And that then they'll be placing an overwhelming intelligence group of some sort that will be attempting to overwhelm the response with slightly varied explanations that lead to the same illogical premise. And that the people that don't do that, and the ones that explain logically why they're doing that stuff, are basically the people that they're trying to silence. Like somebody like me. See, Project Pedobangtos, they just voyeur in a paparazzi way. And they don't actually do any field research. And so then they pretty much, they like to talk down anybody that does field research. And then they like to discredit them. And then since their weird Don Trump pedobang world has some sort of like weird Republican pedobang man theory about talking about anything, that basically if you weren't pedobang Don Trump mans, then they just wouldn't accept what you say, and that basically somebody like me just tells people the truth about what I found and what I find out about, and that then that's the stuff that they're trying to keep secret and shit, and that is basically where they come up with a whole series of reasons that don't make any sense logically, and then they just all adhere to it as one little pedobang group. And that's pretty much the methodology of stupid fucking Cayman pedobang. And that the reason that I inundate people constantly with the explanations of this stuff is because I like to overwhelm people with constantly logical and rational explanations to why they're doing this stuff. And over time, it grooms people to be noticing all of this illogical shit that comes out of their fucking mouth all the fucking time. And that then over time, it becomes an overwhelming psychological overload of accepting illogical shit that doesn't make any fucking sense, or to pretty much understand what I'm fucking saying. And then over time, it becomes where they have to accept logic or fucking dumb bitch brain QAnon fucking pedobang toss fucking ideas. Okay? And so one of the things about the grooming method is that the federal government during Donald Trump pedobang was being groomed into these dumb fucking ideas about crowdsourced intelligence. And then the only thing that they were getting is dumb pedobang fucking QAnon and shit. And then that stuff was inundating our government with an overwhelming intelligence influence. And so the counter-op to that is to constantly, logically and rationally explain all of their methodologies over and over again to take people down the logic path, to show people the logic thought on everything. And then it slowly builds people that see the stuff over time into noticing the dumb pedobang.